this strange little town high on a hilltop is a long way down. We take a gondola to the valley floor when we need provisions from the local provision store. I'm a professor from Stony Brook University, here to study longevity. The people in this village average 123. No one knows why. It's a great mystery. So I was brought here to observe. My kids and me. Maybe it's a good thing we ended up here. I've been lost, stuck, unsure for over a year. Lethargic, slow, like I'm just getting old, like I'm fighting a virus or some unending cold. I just don't want to talk about it. I can't let it go. I try, but I just can't let those feelings show. It makes my children sad, but it's all I can do to wake up each morning and muddle through. Anyway, I began by studying their food, how what they ate maybe affected their mood, which in turn could affect their metabolism, which would explain their unusual magnetism. But that's a dead end. The food was nothing unusual, except the beef was like eating a rubber sole. And then there's the altitude. I wondered if it had an effect. But the more I studied it, the more lightheaded I'd get. Of course, there's the exercise, all the walking. And then there's the random, passive gawking. Sometimes I feel them stare at me. But when I turn quickly to see, I catch just a glimpse of their heads spinning round. There is something unusual going on in this town. I don't even know what this village is called. It's confusing, and I'm growing a little appalled. When I ask, they just turn and walk away, like I'm not even there, like there's nothing to say. The architecture is like nothing I've ever seen. Whimsical colors, bright red, purple, pink, and green. Now just the other day, while some locals were gawking, as my kids and I on the cobblestone streets were walking, I thought I overheard them in a strange way of talking, and I certainly didn't want them to think I was stalking, but it sounded like one said in a loud whisper to the other, and I think the old woman was probably the young man's mother. She slurred, excited, and almost glowing. "There's a 60% chance it's gonna start showing!" Then they both looked up toward a mountain peak where the cumulus cloud appeared to sneak, covering the hood-shaped mountaintop like an old-fashioned, stringy, grayish mop. I approached them with my children, one under each arm, for I wanted to protect them from any possible harm. "Excuse me, you meant a 60% chance of snowing, yes?" Their eyes lit up as a smile they suppressed. They laughed a little and then just walked away. I could see their breath on this cold December day. And as they walked past the barber shop, our eyes popped out as our jaws did drop, as the weatherman said during the 5 o'clock news, "Expect 12 inches of show, so get your show shoes. This one's gonna break the norm. Why, it's gonna be a real showstorm." "Excuse me," I said to the barber there. With one white glove, he trimmed the man in the chair. "The weatherman meant snowshoes, correct?" The barber smiled as the hair flecked. "No, not snow. It doesn't snow here, my dear. It shows, and it does this time of year." And then a line of people appeared at the shoe store. "They're getting their show shoes," the barber added once more. "And I can probably tell what each one will get there. You learn a lot, you know, by cutting a town's hair. John, 30, he'll probably get tuxedo shoes, a fancy black pair. And Catherine, 89, she'll get red high heels, the kind that make a man stare. And Tommy, he's got some in the closet he'll finally take out. And Alima, 48, she's getting walking shoes to walk about." "Why," I exclaimed, "what on earth are show shoes for?" "They help support our souls when it really shows more. And you," he said with deep concern in his eyes, "you're gonna need some climbing boots." "For what?" I replied. "The show is gonna punch so deep in your heart, you'll need the support. So get them before the snowstorm starts. And on Christmas Day, I think you'll need a trim. If you do, I'll be here, so come right in." "What's your name?" he asked, smiling. "Oh yes, I'm Joe." "Nice to meet you, Joe. They call me the barber, but my name is Angela." This is utter nonsense, I thought. I don't believe a word of this. It's dumbfounding, half-baked, completely ridiculous. Still, we got in line with the villagers there. I got my mountain climbing boots just in case to prepare, and Sue and Jimmy, they just wanted slippers for going to bed, the kind you need when you just want to be comforted. And as we left the store, back onto the street, a most peculiar group of carolers we happened to meet. They sang a familiar tune, but the words were all wrong. The kids and I, why, we tried to sing along. Well, the traffic outside is frightful, but the love is so delightful. And since we're all here to grow, let it show, let it show, let it show. Why do we keep on stopping when our hearts are nearly popping? The light in our souls aglow. Let it show, let it show, let it show. We get scared so full of fright, like we're going out into a storm. But if we just believe in the light, all of the world will be warm. Now the fire is slowly rising, as my friends we're realizing we've all come here to grow. So let it show, let it show, let it show. Let it show, let it show, let it show. Let it show, let it show, let it show. Well, I whisked the kids home, full of questions. I was so confused. I lost directions. It was dark by the time we found our house, where not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. As I tucked the kids in, I realized it was Christmas Eve. I tried really hard, but I still couldn't believe. I fell asleep as the fire embers began to glow out. And when I awoke, to my surprise, it began showing out. Light glistened and swirled through the window. It danced and moved and touched my soul. It hummed a beautiful, perfect tune that soothed my mind and calmed the room. I looked outside, and before my eyes, the light was piled to the children's thighs. And there the mountain stood perfectly clear, like a diamond refracting the light that was here. I ran to the children with quite a clatter. They sprung in their beds to see what was the matter. Look, look, I guess it's showing. It's showing! The kids ran outside. Dad! It's glowing! It's glowing! And the children all around were laughing and throwing balls of light that were floating and blowing. You there, boy! I said to one packing some light. What are you doing? Why, we're having a show ball fight. We ran to the barber, who was waiting there. What's happening? He smiled. Please, sit in my chair. What is it? I said, as he put on his one white glove. You know. And it's true. I did. It's love. It's love. Yes, on Christmas Day here, the cloud of fear usually melts away, and the highest peak of the truth is seen on one magical day. And then, as soon as he touched my hair, I saw each of the people who bought show shoes a pair. They were showing unabashedly their love, free of fear. It's illusion and confusion, it's false veneer. John 30, with the tuxedo shoes shine, said, will you marry me? To his girl, forever be mine. And she cried and said, why can't you guess? I've been waiting all year. Yes, yes. And Jimmy, 15, wore those shoes out of the closet that day. Mom and Dad, he said, I'm gay. They took him in their arms and said, son, it doesn't matter. We love you just the same, with their words they did flatter. And Catherine, 89, with her stiletto shoes of red, was spicing up her marriage to the approval of her husband Fred. And Alima, with her walking shoes, came to her husband to say, I love you, but I just think it's time to walk away. And they cried with each other, and then with a sigh, they wished each other well and said goodbye. And then I looked at my climbing boots. It all made sense. This is no time for false pretense. I hugged my kids so tight, I nearly did smother. Forgive me for never talking about your mother. It just hurt so bad, I confessed as I cried, the way she so suddenly passed away when she died. But somehow she's here, while outside it's still showing. That's the key, Angelo said, his eyes glowing. We have to let it show on the outside, or the love eventually will hide. So, Jimmy said, it's okay to talk about Mommy then? Yes, Jimmy. And Susie, it's okay. We're starting over again. And that's when it hit me. The secret I was searching for, the reason the average lifespan is just under 124. Angelo, that's it. It's the showing. It keeps people young here and growing. The next day, it was all gone. The light, the love that had piled up on the lawn. I ran to Angelo, who was sitting in a barber chair. It's gone, I yelled. No, it's still right there. It's just on Christmas Day, it's easier to see. But the love is right there. Why, it's heavenly. Is that where we are, on some heavenly plane? Everywhere is heaven. That's why searching for it is in vain. Just keep on showing, and heaven will be there. Here, New York, and everywhere. But this is a special place, I said, keeping perfectly still. Yes, it is. He finally confessed. It's called Newville. Which is why the people here were gawking. There has to be new people here. You're like our Christmas stocking. Your curiosity and your wonder helps us believe, so it can start showing on Christmas Eve. But you, Angelo, you are special. What's your role here? The barber grinned as his eyes become perfectly clear. You might say, I was stationed here. It's my post. There's one of us in every town, a messenger, a host. You see, my last name is O.H., don't you know? By golly, I shouted. Angelo, Angel, oh. My job here finished. We went back to New York, where I reported my findings in a one-sentence report. Not that they believe me, but I just don't care. The truth I discovered, I simply must share. So what did my one-sentence report say? Now, I will let you know. The secret to living to 123. Let it show.